Hiya, it's Gina here from Gina and Allison Coaching, and I was inspired to jump on and have a word with you because I just got really excited. I've put together, and I'm just working out. It's like I have drawn a sketch of this future, and what I'm talking about is my future program. And it's been a masterpiece in the creating, can I suggest that it is. I'm taking through stuff that has worked for me, that has enabled me to shift my mindset, and I'm doing it more and more deliberately and more skillfully, and it's taken me years. It's I've been working on this stuff for 4 years, but slowly I can feel it shifting. The way I see the world is just more beautiful and full of possibilities. So I am very keen to share that with you guys. And I've been mixed up with wanting to create a fabulous online business and make loads of money and be this success that I see that it just gives you freedom to be able to do what you want to do. But of course, none of that matters if you're not 100% sure what you want to do, or at least know what you want to go exploring. Because what do we want all this stuff for? What do we want optimum health for? What do we want lots of money for? What do we want a lover for? What do we want anything that we want? If you think about anything that you actually want right now, and it tends to be those three things. It's, what are the three main things in our life that we all have to deal with? We have to deal with our own bodies and our relationship with our own bodies. We also have to deal with finances, because we're in this system. In order to live life and do exciting things, we all need money. And money is just like a giant energy that is flowing between people. And we just choose to use the note form that we use in order to show things, what things are worth. But this is about looking in and sussing out what it is worth to you. Everybody spends their money on something. It doesn't matter how rich or how poor you are. And I haven't gone from one end of the spectrum totally to the other end. There's always been someone poorer than me, and there's always been someone richer than me. But I have experienced some highs and lows in that. When I've been going around the supermarket, working out exactly what I'm spending because I've only got, £50 of cash in my pocket. Or another time when even less than that, I had £45 on my Nectar card, and I discovered I had that, and I was so excited because it meant I could feed the kids another time. I was going around to my mum's to raid her freezer to feed her so I wouldn't have to buy food. So I have been down into a pretty low place in finances. Yes, there is worse, and we always had a roof over our head. We always had food on the table. The universe provided. I had what I needed. But what that did then is shoot out a rocket of desire. I'm talking Abraham Hicks speak here, but that desire that when you notice something in your life that is not serving you, that you want more of, that you're not happy with. You're not happy with the way your legs feel. You're not happy with the fact that, you're worried that next month you're not sure where the money's going to come from. These are all things that we can change. And it starts by looking inwards and shifting the way we see the world. Because as soon as we shift the way that we see the world, and everything looks a little bit rosier and a little bit nicer, and you're recognizing the good stuff and celebrating the little things as well as the big things, that becomes more of your general vibe. And once you're in that place of good vibe, of good energy, you start seeing things better. It doesn't matter at this point in time that my legs don't work very well. It doesn't matter that, I don't know where the money's going to come from next month. At this point in time, I am healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm relaxed, I'm energized. It's bringing it back to the moment. And what I'm really excited about, I think I've gone off on a tangent a little bit, because I said one was relationship with self, 2 was investing. The 3 things that we're not necessarily happy with. So yourself, your health, how you're feeling in your body. Your second one is your wealth, how you're feeling about money. And the third one is your relationships. So those for me are the 3 key areas of life. You've then got the one that's bringing it all together, which is your spirituality, what you believe about the world, about you, what you believe about what is possible, what you believe about anything that's going on in your life is fundamental to how you perceive the world. And we have all got beliefs that have all been formed from an experience or a series of experiences, or from societal, from what we see. So this is about opening your eyes a little wider and just pushing the boundaries of those beliefs. Because if you have a thought, a belief that you keep thinking, that doesn't make you feel very good. Like, for example, if we've got an autoimmune disease, you probably, maybe not totally. So it'd be interesting to know, because I've got some people on here. So thanks for that, waving to everybody. If you've got an autoimmune disease at the moment, what is your belief about you being able to ever live totally symptom-free? Do you believe that that is a possibility for you? And this is the belief that I been working on shifting. You can't just have a deep-rooted belief like that that's been formed on so many levels of your own experience, of doctors telling you, of reading the research, of listening to other people. There's that belief is growing stronger and stronger and stronger because you're seeing more of that. So when I started pushing that belief, I didn't have to push very far before I started seeing evidence that actually that's not true. That is not true. I have read enough, learned enough to believe that no matter what your state of health is at the moment, it is possible to live that amazing, full in your body, healthy, running marathons, doing rowing, doing extreme sports, or, just walking comfortably to, on a gentle stroll in the park. It doesn't matter what you want to do. What is your belief about how that is possible? And my suggestion is, when we believe something isn't possible, it stops us trying. It stops us looking. It stops us being open. What if I talk a lot about having MS being a gift, and I talk about it a lot. I don't always feel it to the core of me. But the idea of MS being a gift makes me feel so much better than I've got this incurable thing that I can't do anything about. So I've been thinking, actually, with the whole concept of what do we really want in life, is to feel good. If I could practice just feeling good in this moment, and by doing that, it's reaching towards a thought that makes you feel better. And this takes practice. This is an ever evolving. It's like you don't suddenly get conscious and that's it. You're conscious in every moment of your life. You get little snippets of it. You're conscious for a little while where you can just see clearly. And what this practice does is allow those snippets to become more and more, so you can see clearly more often. And this has been my experience. And this is what I'm sharing with you on my program. Sorry, I'm getting a bit emotional because it's so exciting. It is so exciting. It is, it just changes your whole world. So I'm going to be sharing with you some of the exercises that I've done. It's only a 6-week program. You know, you're not going to be this super enlightened person, because you're never going to be this super enlightened person. It's a journey, but the journey is expansive. It's not, I've just realized it's not a road like this that we're cutting through the jungle. The journey is you growing. So as you're going through, you're finding more tools to help you, making more connections with other people that can help you. You're seeing things more clearly. You're enjoying life more. So this space doesn't necessarily become that bigger, but it becomes more encompassing, more enjoyable. So when you were following this path that we're on, it doesn't have to be as shitty as we make it. I think that's it. It doesn't. Just like that, we can start shifting things. And this is what I'm teaching in this program. And I am ever expanding. So this program's going to grow as I grow, and I'm literally growing daily as I'm feeling it all coming together. It really works. It really works. And I still get hung up on I can't walk very well sometimes. And, you know, I haven't got the money streams coming in already. I haven't got everything as sussed out as I would like it to be. But when you start changing your life, it's quite massive. There's lots of things that you need or you want to do. And sometimes that gets a bit overwhelming. So I have to remind myself and remind you as well that when things start momentum building, you have to sort of calm it down, because by calming it down, that's where the magic happens. When we really learn to listen to our bodies, take in what it needs for food, do what exercise it needs, do what really makes you happy. You know, that is, you'd think it would be the easy thing in the world, and some people have it, and you must know people in your circle. We see famous people that seem to have it. They just get everything they want. Everything just comes to them easily. Yes, I'm sure if you dug down and actually got to know them, there will be challenges. Nobody's path is just you reach the top and you stay there. We all love a good story about people that have made it and then crashed and then made it again, because it gives us all hope. And this is it. It's not, you know, we think of the crash being such a bad thing. But if we can start shifting our perspective, I need to drink, I'm talking too much. Sorry, get excited. We'll take a breath. So what I'm saying is, anybody, I believe, I'm choosing to believe, because it's empowering and it's exciting, that actually there is a universe, a God, whatever you want to call it, but there is a connection that's connecting us all together. And it's not an entity that is a whole like person. It's a mesh of consciousness that's drawing us all together. And if we allow it, we can allow it to draw us together. The tangles detangle themselves. And instead of being all, you imagine like a thread threading around and all getting tangled up. You know, if you've ever tried to untangle a fishing line, now that gives you a great analogy of how this thing works. I think this is just what I've learned. I don't know what it is, but this is making sense to me. It's like a tangle of fishing wire, and it's all there. And once we can untangle the fishing wire, we can catch fish. we can move on, we can solve a problem. But the fishing line, the more we pull at it, the more we pull at the fishing line, it gets tighter and tighter. And we know if we pull it too much, it'll get to the point where you can't untangle the fishing line anymore. And what will you do? You cut it off. You get a new fishing line. So yes, I think when the fishing line is gettable, you can imagine the analogy of untangling a fishing line or a ball of wool or some string or something like that. The tighter it gets to a point where it becomes not worth the effort, because you know that when you actually untangle it, all the fishing line will be all bent and not very straight anyway. And it will take you longer than you have that you want to spend on this. So this is a bit like that. All the consciousness, all the thoughts are all tangled and we're pulling and pulling at them. But if it's not too tangled up, we can just relax a bit, loosen it up. Take your time to go back to the end thread and slowly but surely pull it through. And if you continue this and remember to stay calm and not get agitated and pull at it again, and not to rush too quickly, but gently see the end and pull them out, then eventually the fishing line becomes unraveled and you can go fishing. And what a great feeling that is. So life is a bit like that. It's a bit like if you feel you're in that, you can't untangle the fishing line in order for you to see your way through. And you keep pulling and pulling until the fishing line just is useless, too tight. But that doesn't mean to be that's a bad thing either, because sometimes you cut the fishing line and actually realise you've got more fishing line. There's always more fishing line. And if you run out of fishing line, you can go to the shop and get another fishing rail. And you can catch just as many fish with the new one as you did with the old one. So if it gets too hard, stop doing it. Cut it off. Take that away. It's like, if you tried something, a bit like me with the AIP, I tried it and I really went down to the detail, but it just was not unraveling for me. But what I need to do, I'm just saying as I think this, I got down to the detail. I didn't get down to the detail enough with the AIP, but I think it comes back to, and anyone who hasn't seen my AIP journey, let me just explain to you what AIP is. So AIP is the autoimmune protocol, and this is a diet. It's an elimination diet. An elimination diet, basically you take out everything that could possibly cause inflammation. So in my journey to try and manage my MS naturally, because I have created the belief that it is possible, and I am nurturing that belief because that belief makes me feel good. That belief is much more empowering and exciting than I have an incurable disease and it's going to get worse and there's nothing I can do about it. Sod that for a game of soldiers. Anything could be true. I've read books and listened to people that have totally changed their whole life and living without symptoms. And they have done that through the similar process that I'm putting together now. There is no one size fits all. But I'm suggesting if you are sitting here listening to this now, some universal magic has been at hand. You think about all the other particular options any one of us could be doing right now, and they're infinite, but you're not, you're here, you're listening. And at some level, these connections are happening. Is it in the middle of a tight fishing line, or is it loosening up, and actually, oh my God, you can see the end, when you get to the end of the fishing line and it's almost done, and yes, and all of a sudden then it's there. And that's where I feel I'm at the moment, and it's exciting. So I want to invite you to come along and learn what I'm learning, because it's good. So I'm going to go there because I have got stuff to do. If you want to know more about the AIP diet, then I've got my journey of that in the guide section of this group. And lost my train of thought. Yeah, so the AIP is in the guide section of the group. If you want to know more about the diet itself, if you go to the files section in the group, there is the autoimmune disease diet comparison chart. I have got another diet to add to it, but at the moment there are 9 very different diets that have all demonstrated to help people with autoimmune diseases. There is no one size fits all. So you might have tried changing your diet already. And I'm not saying that and I don't know, because I've done it as well and I'm still tweaking the diet thing. But I don't know if I don't believe necessarily that diet is the only thing. I think there's more, and it's the getting to know yourself, I think, when the magic happens. So I can trust, actually, I don't need to listen to that diet or that diet. I can actually trust and know what I'm eating is right for me. And I'm not there yet, but that's where I want to be. So with the whole idea of focusing on what you want instead of stressing about where you are, it just again shifts. So I know that actually the next step is, or one of the steps is going to be me being 100% happy and secure knowing what I'm eating, never feeling guilty for eating something, never having that, well, I don't know if you can ever get rid of total doubt or anything, but maybe we can. But I'm learning, and it's getting less and less, and it just makes life a lot lighter, a lot more fun, and gives me more energy. I might have MS, but I don't suffer from any brain fog. And I have got a bound of energy. My legs aren't working quite right yet, but I know it means I've got to dig deeper and find a bit more. And while that feels like hard work and I can't be asked, I also know that it's incredible and exciting and worthwhile, definitely worthwhile. So this week was all about investing in yourself. And that is because when I've been speaking to people about going on my program, I haven't had anyone say that they didn't like the sound of it. They didn't feel they needed it. It really talked to them. I shared with them a great experience of what coaching is, but they came back with they can't afford it. So my invitation to you is think about what you're currently spending your money on, because you will be spending it on something. And whatever you're spending your money on, that gives you an idea of where your focus is at the moment and where you're going. So if you don't like where you're going, then it's money, and what you're spending your money on is probably the first indicator of sussing out a different path. Because as soon as you invest financially in something, you're ready, you're committed, you're showing a level of commitment. And changing your life takes commitment. It does. It takes investment. But is it worth it? Of course it's frigging worth it. It is just hi Michelle, I've just seen you pop in. And hi everyone else. Sorry, I'm not ignoring everybody, but there's actually lots of people here today, which is really exciting. And and it just feels like I've got a different energy going on. I don't know. I'm just feeling like I'm not worried about marketing anymore and thinking I need to do this. I'm just thinking about being real and doing what I want to do in this moment. And I don't know why that's making me cry, but it is a little bit. And I think as well, when emotion comes up, you've hit something, you know, when you get emotional about something, when something gets you, then it's a truth that's emerging. I heard this really good quote the other day. I don't know who said it originally, but sometimes we trip over the truth and then we pick ourselves up and carry on as if nothing has happened. But actually it has happened. And if we were to trip over the truth and allow it to be, then actually our world starts expanding. So I'm going to have to go because I've got a call in literally 2 minutes. So thank you so much for listening. If anybody wants to know more about this course, I've only got, let me just sit up a minute. I've only got 5 more places on this one. It's starting next Wednesday, so a week today at 4 p.m. British summertime, that's UK time. If you're really mad keen to go on it, and I can do some adjustments, we can maybe change the time. So basically it's a group program. It is one group call a week. It is a bit of an experiment. I've taken people through this on a one-on-one, not as a group before, but there are many benefits to working in a group. You imagine you've got 6 of you working together, carving this path out. So you're connected at that point in time because the universe brought you together and you're all growing together, and together that just makes that jungle journey a lot more fun. So I've talked a lot in various different analogies. If you've listened to any of my stuff, you may have heard me talk about my jungle analogy before. I've done speeches and stuff. But yeah, in the meantime, oh gosh, it's raining and I'm washing out. Right, I'm not going to go rushing out and grabbing it, or am I? Decisions. Shall I grab the washing or not grab the washing? Oh, I don't know. The rain's coming down quite heavy, so I'm gonna. It's like you get to the cusp of. If I leave it that long, I've just got to leave it because I'm just going to get so wet. And I'm looking at the sky. It's looking a bit grey. It could be raining for the rest of the day. Right, decisions. What do I do? Make one quick, otherwise I'm just going to. I think I'm going to go and get the washing. Right, guys. I'll see you later. If you're interested in the course, let me know. I'll see you. Thanks for joining.